I would never expect it to get emotional on this podcast, and it took a lot for me to hold everything back. It was so impactful, and they touch so many lives.
Hello, and welcome to Carrier Code, your inside track to the strategies, stories, and leaders driving the trucking industry forward. Today's episode is sponsored by Driver's Legal Plan, CDL Ticket Defense for Professional Drivers, and produced by Bulldog, Trucking's podcast pros. I'm Christy Choice, here with my co-host Rocco Marari. Hey, Rocco, how's it going?
Hey, Christy, it's going well. I am, as always, happy to be here. I'm looking forward to this episode today. We have Courtney George here from Wreaths Across America, and she's going to walk us through every type of process and what goes on behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, and how she's going to get you to join this. So just stay tuned. This is going to be exciting.
Yes, for sure. And as we've been planning the next few weeks of content, it was really interesting, right? Because it's like we start thinking about people who are in our network, people who are doing really, really great work, impactful work, and start tapping on shoulders. And so I am excited about the lineup that we have coming up in the next few weeks. And the future is bright for Carrier Code Podcast. And along that note, if you have any suggestions for topics you'd like to hear about or guests you'd like to see on Carrier Code Podcast, go ahead and shoot us an email. Know the code at carriercodepodcast.com. Today's conversation, like Rocco said, we are talking to Courtney George from Wreaths Across America.
I'm going to introduce Courtney here so she can tell us a little bit about what they do. Courtney?
Welcome, Courtney. Come on in.
Hey, everyone. It's great to be here with my I'm going to have to say, top 10 favorite people in the industry. I'm just kidding. Y'all know that.
Okay. Well, you've been on my pre-approved list of people who are cool enough to super duper hang out with for a really long
That's
time.
fair.
So I'm glad you're here.
You got the super duper.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hear super duper very often.
Not everyone makes the pre-approved list of cool people to hang out with.
Yeah.
I remember Christy from when I was at a carrier, and I was like, oh, I'm going to need to keep her cell phone number in here.
Oh, yes. And wait, the rest is history. And we are here so many years later. But Courtney, I want you to start out by, if there happens to be someone who hasn't heard of you or Wreaths Across America, just give them, just a few minute breakdown of Courtney George and Wreaths Across America. And we'll take it from there.
So most importantly, Wreaths Across America is a nationwide nonprofit. We have a goal of remembering the fallen, honoring those who serve, and teaching the next generation about freedom. All of that being said, my name is Courtney George. I am a 20-year veteran of the trucking industry. I never thought I would end in trucking or start in trucking, and fell in love with working in this industry, and the people that are here. They're just the best people, very genuine. And what I love is that I get to see the best that the industry has to offer at Wreaths Across America. Somebody once put it that if we didn't have the trucking industry, it would be called Wreaths in Maine. And that's pretty accurate. Now, most people can tell from my accent, I am not from Maine, nor do I live there. It is entirely too cold, and I would die. True story. However, I do enjoy when I go up there. It's really pretty. I get to experience a little bit of, what I would call Christmas weather. These people that, dream of a white Christmas. I dream of a warm Christmas because I've just been in Maine for a couple weeks. And, it really keeps me on my feet. It really makes sure there's so much going on that you can't help but love it up there. The energy is, everybody's just vibing. We're trying to get all these Wreaths onto trucks, getting them across the country. We play a little bit of planes, trains, automobiles to get them there. And, that's probably my favorite part is how many people are there, how many people are making it happen, getting to talk to these drivers, finding out their stories, but also in turn, it's become really popular for company execs to come up and enjoy as well. and finding out their stories and how this trip, for them has really changed their life is also really cool to see.
Courtney, just out of curiosity, because I don't know, how many wreaths typically go in a truck? Because I'm
about
curious.
6,500.
Oh, wow. Wow.
That I know. It sounds crazy. They're boxed in 12 wreaths per box. They're palletized. It is super easy. I know that I can get 504 boxes on a truck. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I have been known to call you and chase you and tell you to just stay on the side of the road and bring 3 more boxes because somebody had donated for their loved one. And if I can get it to you, I'm putting it on that truck.
Wow.
I might be like, look, this is a bestio riser your truck's going to have.
Mm-hmm.
We're just going to let this be your passenger.
There you go.
Safety first.
Oh my goodness.
With the
I
seatbelt.
love it. I love it. Well, and I love how you are able to use your recruiting and logistics experience, right? And then now in the nonprofit world, I see you at so many conferences and events, and you are such an excellent spokesperson, really conveying the heart of what Wreaths Across America is meant for. And now that we are in Q4, we're, I saw you put we're in the fourth quarter. It's getting real. It's the most wonderful time, and for Courtney, sometimes it could be a stressful time, but you put out an email and you were like, hey, it's almost that time again. And you're trying to really get all of the logistics together. For the people who don't know what goes into Wreaths Across America, give us like a linear breakdown of what's happening right now. And then, of course, later we're going to tell everyone how they can get involved. So go ahead, Courtney, just tell us what's up.
So right now, anyone who's already confirmed their loads is scheduling their loading appointment. We've had some, webinars just to remind people as people have moved throughout the year, remind them what needs to happen, scheduling their loads, making sure the drivers, how they can, most of our loads are multi-stop loads, but how they can order it in any order they want. It doesn't matter to us. So we start those conversations. I still have a list of about 30 locations that need a driver. I need a carrier that's willing to help out. So I'm reaching out to companies. I'm reaching out to friends going, hey, look, I know that you've got these amount of loads and I'm not asking you to take another load, but do you have a friend I haven't talked to? Is there someone that I haven't met? Because at this point, we are 30 loads away from meeting our goal of having 100% donated transportation. So at this point, like I will always joke about, if I need to come meet with you in a deer stand, just let me know your GPS coordinates. I do have 4-wheel drive.
Oh yeah, you do.
So I will come to a duck blind. I will hunt you down. If I need to come to church to find you, like we can do it any way you want to do it. But like now's the time of the year where I am trying to get those 30 loads finished and covered. So that way, by the time I get up to Maine and we start loading those trucks, it's just, that is the Swan Lake moment. Is that called?
Courtney, do you have, not to put you on the spot here, but are there any locations where you can think of off the top of your head that we can put the word out real quick? And if our listeners have any ideas, they can reach out to you because we're going to put your contact info on here if you'd like.
Absolutely.
Oh, wonderful.
So I've got one load that goes into the National Cemetery. It's literally one stop into Denver. I want to say it's Fort Logan. So that's kind of a prize load. Normally people love going into a national cemetery. They're beautiful. And I know that sounds crazy, but national cemeteries are really beautiful. You've got to respect their symmetry, how much you see the work that somebody put in from the military, and you see that same attention to detail in a national cemetery. That's a really cool load. I've got loads going into Texas. I've got some that are going into cross docks. While all restart and are made in Maine. I do have 9 cross docks across the country. So you might be able to pick up if you were in, the St. Louis area and want to go down to Texas. I've got a load with your name on it. If you want to go to Texas from Maine, I'll get you there through Louisiana. We've got great opportunities for people to still get involved. And so, the most important thing and most important message that I tell everyone is this. My job is to find the way to make it work. Just call me. That's probably the best point. If you are remotely interested, let me get on the phone with you and find out how we can make it work. Because there's always a way. Because I have the will, we can make it happen.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
I love that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Now, what else do people need to know? I know that sometimes it's an overwhelming and really emotional experience. Like you have some stories to share from some drivers who have contributed to Wreaths Across America and how it's impacted you.
Oh my goodness, there are so many stories. We could be here for days. I will say there was a gentleman my first year, and he was a Vietnam veteran, and he had come through, and we have a cool thing called the Driver First Mile where they can make their own wreath. There's one automatically put on their truck, but sometimes they like to take it to their house, to their carrier. Maybe they put it on a loved one's headstone. And there was a gentleman, and he was getting loaded, and he had his little dog with him. And this one we're going to try to get through without crying. His son passed away the night before, and he was getting loaded, and I was sending him, begging this man to let me put him and his dog on a plane. And when he said, I saw so many things that hurt in Vietnam, but nothing compares to losing your child. But for him, being in Maine made it a little bit easier. I told y'all I wasn't going to cry. Now you've made me cry on the internet, Christy. It's fine.
It's okay. I'm right there with you.
Oh
my goodness.
Okay, we're good. But then there are so many other great things that I will say. It's our truckers lounge that we have in Maine. If I could have created this when I was working for a carrier, would have put myself out of a job, which would be a consultant for, other companies. But like, people are so happy. They walk up to you. They say, welcome to the family. What's your name? You've got veteran drivers that have done this for 7-8 years. I've got a driver who's coming for his 17th year this year, which is crazy. And so we've got people who are, you've got drivers that are new, some that are old, and they're all collectively there because they're so happy to be there. It's what they really, really want to do. And for many of them, they had to submit, they had to, ask to be part of this and to be chosen by their carriers. I get to see the best of the best. I will tell you, one of the coolest stories from last year was we had 2 Marines who served. They are team drivers for USA Truck, and they were going to the Friends and Family Weekend in Arlington. And what's cool is they were in the same unit. So they served alongside each other and drive alongside each other. Like, there's nobody, they were like, look, I can trust him completely because I went through combat with him. And I'm like, they were awesome. And they were like, hey, your museum doesn't have any of the Marine, dress outfits. What's your address? Can I send this here? And he sent one of his Marine dress outfits. And I was like, that's one of the coolest things. Like, to be going down the highway and to call me back and be like, hey, I didn't notice any of this. Are we able to do this? And I'm like, well, if you'd love to, we would love it. But to see that camaraderie that formed so many years ago that is still happening today. Minnie and John are awesome. And the beautiful part is they are encouraging and recruiting Marines from their same division to come out and to start team driving.
Oh my word.
That is great.
I'm over here trying to hold it together because these are the stories that build community, but it gives people purpose. And one of the things that I wasn't necessarily expecting was years ago when I first began in the industry was how patriotic the trucking industry is. And so, I mean, these initiatives give people purpose, and to hear the stories about sacrifice and dedication and camaraderie really, really resonate, because we're all so proud of our great nation, right? And to know that that there's ways to support nonprofit organizations like Wreaths Across America by giving your time and donating that transportation. Oh my gosh, like I'm
It's their way of
overwhelmed right
still
now.
serving.
It is, and it's their way, I think, of giving back
Very much
to the
so.
industry, that's given them so much.
So
that's
much.
how
What's
I look
really
at it.
neat that we do when they take their driver first mile, we take them out on the tip lands. And a lot of people think of a tree, just like a triangle, right? However you want to look at it. And it starts looking like that. But for us, they're tall and skinny because we're not cutting trees down. They're growing. And so we have a Remembrance tree program. And a lot of the drivers go ahead and submit before. So they get a dog tag. And this dog tag, they get to go hang out. We've got an area for Gold Star family members, truck drivers, American Legion. One of the other stories that strikes me was from last year. Chris Shepard with Sherwin-Williams. He is such a great ambassador, and this is actually going to be probably his last load before he retires. His boss had been on the list, and I called him and said, "Hey, your number got called. You got picked." And he was like, "What?" And he was like, I have to send Chris Shepard." And the backstory of that is less than a year prior, his son passed away and is interred in Arlington. So he got to go there. He and his wife went along the convoys, but we getting down to DC, and the feeling that they had, the healing that happened for them, being the family to put that wreath on his son's headstone, it just meant more to him. And that's the cool part. I mean, we've got those dog tags, and people ask questions, and I'm like, there are over 20,000 dog tags out there in our tip land. He placed one for his son out there. And I can tell you, I promise you, he knows exactly what tree it is and exactly where it is. And this year, when he comes back, we'll be out there to check on it. That's really the cool thing, is that, that gives a sense of pride and healing to them, and watching what they went through, and all the gratitude that they had for what we do. And we're like, we're only doing this because of you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. So, Courtney, that is so much deeper than I truly, because I've heard about it. Being on the vendor side, never really gotten involved. And
Rocco's signing up now.
I know, you got me now. You got me.
December 13th.
You got me. I mean, it's
boy,
it's
you can
powerful.
Go to Abraham Lincoln. They do a great job there.
It's your words were powerful today. It's really going to change, I can tell you, people's lives, like you were saying. And it's not something that is said lightly. It's impactful. And I appreciate, and I think everybody does, all the work you guys do leading up to that day now.
Yeah.
We try so hard to make it perfect for the drivers, to make it seamless, to make it easy for them, because I want you to have such a great experience that you want to bring it back. I've had driver recruiters that have called me and been like, what is this program? Because I've been trying to hire this guy for 4 months, and he says if he can't haul a load of wreaths because he had done it at his previous carrier or at his current carrier, he's not coming. And I'm like, well, today's the day that we get to talk. So the drivers are driving that too, which is what I love. They see the benefit of this. They get to experience, a lot of location coordinators turn around and they'll get a police escort in, or they'll drive as they come in through the fire trucks with the arches, the laddered arches. And nothing makes a truck driver happier Nothing makes them more proud. And for once, they are treated like the heroes that they are.
I mean, what a sight to see. What a sight to see.
And this is when I'm like,
Wow.
the small things that each volunteer location coordinator does to make this special for a driver. It's outstanding. I mean, they get loaded. They don't have to physically unload the load. There are volunteers that come up. They're meeting people, and they're meeting, you know, you maybe are meeting with the Patriot Guard riders. You might be with, oh goodness, what are they called? The Red Knights. So that's the fire motorcycle group, fire department motorcycle group. The Punishers, which are the police group, motorcycle group. There's so many different groups that come out and are there and cheering and celebrating, and you're watching a whole community come together to unload those wreaths. But then you flash forward and you're involved on wreath day. You go out there, and we tell people when you place that wreath, say their name. They say often a person dies twice. Once when they actually die, and the second time when their name is said last. Our goal as an organization is to get a wreath on every veteran's headstone. But if we can't get one on every headstone, at least we can walk by, say their name, and make sure that their sacrifice was thanked.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Rocco.
So, Courtney, for people who aren't drivers, how can they get involved?
Really easy. All you have to do is reach out to me. I can start from as granular as you want to as high level as you need. It's pretty easy. Reach out to me. My email is cgeorge@wreathsacrossamerica.org. Most people know how to call me. Call my cell phone, 336-471-7555. If you are interested, there's a way we can make this happen. All you have to do is let us know.
That's wonderful. And I know we're going to put that down at the bottom here at the end for you too. So we're going to get you some people to come assist and help out, and it's going to be a wonderful turnout.
I can't wait. Wreath Day is like my favorite day every year. There's been so much work, so much prep that's gone into it, and people don't realize for a year we're adjusting loads, moving things around. It's kind of playing Tetris throughout the year. And as we grow, last year we were at 4,900 locations, and now we're at over 5,300 locations this year. So we are just, there's constant push and pull to figure out how we can make it happen, how we can get the least amount of, how I can make the least amount of loads and maximize the most space. A lot of people ask, you don't have to have a reefer. If you do have a reefer, I'll tell you to set it at 34. But we load auto haulers. I load moving vans. I literally load horse trailers. I mean, like, if you've got a way, the only thing I can't load is a flatbed or a tank. But there are, outstanding carriers out there. If you've got a Conestoga, I can load it. So don't take yourself out of being able to participate. Call me, email me, text me, get in touch with me, and let me help you make it happen.
Oh my goodness. Well, Courtney, thank you so much for sharing all of this information and for really allowing us to sit with the reality of this information. I think I almost lost it when you said that line about folks dying twice.
Oh, no, that I did.
When their name is said. Yep. That is, anyway, that's definitely gonna stay with me. And I am proud of you and all of the work that you do, you and the team at Wreaths Across America. And every year I see it. So if you're listening and you're out there, you're like me, and you've kind of been on the outskirts of the conversation about Wreaths Across America, this is your opportunity. This is your chance to get involved and to help support the mission of Wreaths Across America. Wreaths Day is December 13th?
13th, absolutely.
December 13th. And it is always a roaring success, but your support can help make it even more of a success. All right, Courtney, I'll give you an opportunity to kind of just give us your last thoughts that you want to share with the folks, and then we'll call it a day.
Absolutely. So first and foremost, I want to thank y'all for having me on. This means the world to me. This means the world to Wreaths. I love y'all. Y'all are great friends of mine. Yes, you know it all day long. But also, I want to thank the trucking community. This does not happen without them. And I am so proud to say that I work with an industry that is supporting our veterans, that is so patriotic. And this is something that we can't do without the industry. And if you don't have a truck, but you want to find out how you can get involved, still call me. There is a way. You can, set up with your VRG groups, ERG groups, whichever way you want to call it. We have ways for people to participate, to get involved. Maybe your group goes out and helps unload at a location. Maybe your group goes and y'all are there for Wreath Day. Maybe y'all each sponsor a wreath for a veteran. There's so many ways, but going and placing that wreath is very easy. Making that $17 donation to remember one veteran is huge. So thank you all to the trucking industry, because without y'all, this is impossible. We would be Wreaths in Maine.
Yeah. But you are Wreaths Across America, baby. Oh, I love it. I love it.
We're getting there. I'm telling you, I literally have like a ticker on my computer right now for what day the Wreaths for Guam have to get on a ship.
Oh yeah.
And people don't realize how far Guam is. Yeah. Like if you get sick, you got to go to Malaysia to the hospital.
You're not coming. Okay. Yeah.
No, you're not coming back here. You were going to Asia to the hospital. So I tell people, I'm like, the people, even Matson, who puts them on all the ships, it is such a huge endeavor that they take on to make happen. Crowley, who gets it into the Virgin Islands and into Puerto Rico. A lot of people don't realize how patriotic those areas are. And I'll leave y'all with one last thing. There's a Gold Star mother named Emily Toro and her son Isaac. When he was killed in action, I think the most impactful thing that she said that really got me hooked was, "Don't ask me how he died, ask me how he lived, and I'll tell you his story."
Oh my.
Tears again. Second cry on the internet.
And it's
fine.
Wow. Yeah, it's fine. It is fine. Oh my goodness. Well, Courtney, thank you for educating us. Thank you for inspiring us. Thank you for informing us and for giving us a way to contribute to Wreaths Across America. You'll be hearing from the Carrier Code podcast team, because we want to make sure that we're supporting what you're doing at Wreaths Across America. Thanks again for being here.
Thank you both so much.
You're very welcome. Well, there'll be more with Carrier Code podcast when we return from break.
Carrier Code is sponsored by Driver's Legal Plan, CDL ticket defense for professional drivers. Hey, it's Rocco from Carrier Code. Every professional driver knows how important it is to protect your CDL. A single ticket can put your livelihood at risk, and that's where Driver's Legal Plan comes in. With just a phone call, you can get specialized CDL ticket defense for just $2.98 a week. Don't let a ticket jeopardize your trucking career. Contact Driver's Legal Plan today and let them defend you like they have more than 400,000 other cases. When you need CDL ticket defense, there's only one, Driver's Legal Plan. Call 1-800-580-8789 or visit driverslegalplan.com for your free consultation. Again, that's 1-800-580-8789 or driverslegalplan.com.
Welcome back, where today's conversation was a deep dive into Wreaths Across America, a nonprofit organization that is designed to help honor the sacrifice of veterans. And Courtney George, Lord have mercy. I mean, I'm still trying to recover from that conversation, but she was so helpful in letting us know all the ways that people can get involved with Wreaths Across America. And the good news, it's not too late. You have time to contact Courtney and her team so that you can find out how to get involved.
You know, Christy, that was one of the most somber episodes we've had. It is the most somber. And
yeah, for sure.
In my eyes, it was one of probably the most impactful. We were talking about the industry being patriotic, supporting loved ones, and everything just came full circle here. I would never expect it to get emotional on this podcast, and it took a lot for me to hold everything back. It was one of the deepest podcasts I've that I've been a part of. It was so impactful, and they touch so many lives. And if you have a truck, if you're an owner operator, if you run a trucking company, if you know somebody who has a truck, give Courtney a call, get involved. If you don't have a truck and you still want to get involved, please give her a call. If you just want to make a donation, this is much more than just bringing a wreath and delivering it to a fallen soldier. This touches everybody's lives in between. So if you have the means, if you have the ability, please reach out and please assist.
Yeah.
That's all I can say
here.
And
even if it's a truck school, right?
Yeah.
Like there are so many ways that folks can get involved. So Rocco, thanks for even listing those out. Because I think even Courtney said, she's loaded auto haulers, even a Conestoga, and she started naming off the different types of equipment. So I think people may assume that because they are wreaths that you have to have a reefer. And so to me, that was one of the greatest things I learned today. So they are willing to work with folks and make sure that they find an opportunity for you to contribute. Man, that was so good. Kind of took me back to my days of being a former military spouse there. And, that community and those experiences that I had will be with me forever. And the way that our worlds tend to collide sometimes is really, really special because you never know when it's going to come full circle. So, wow, that is amazing. Well, Courtney, thank you so much for having been here today. You taught us all a lot, and I am sure that Wreaths Across America is going to have a great December 13th this year.
Yes.
And we're excited to have been just a small part of getting the message out about Wreaths Across America. Carrier Code is sponsored by Drivers Legal Plan, CDL Ticket Defense for Professional Drivers, and produced by Bulldog, Trucking's Podcast Pros. New episodes, sometimes somber episodes, drop every week. So be sure to like, subscribe, and follow so you never miss an episode. You can listen on your favorite podcast platform, watch on YouTube, or visit us anytime at carriercodepodcast.com. You'll also find us on all the social channels at Carrier Code Podcast. Thanks so much for joining us. And until next week, I'm Christy.
And I'm Rocco.
And this is Carrier Code.